welcome back. Tonight's video is going to be different than normal. Normally I work on 80s games. We're going to be working on a newer game. I'm waiting on the joystick and leaf switches for the Stargate so I can finish that up. Still waiting on a couple parts so I can finish the wiring harness for Kickman. I think other than that, we're kind of caught up for the most part. Need for Speed Underground is still broken. I need to have my buddy come out and look at the computer. Hopefully he can fix that. We'll see what happens. But what we're going to be doing is taking the bags game out of the bags cabinet, and it's going to go into the Silver Strike cabinet. Not today, but what I want to do is get that emptied and start putting this PGA Tour computer and all the components, and I have to fit that control panel to fit into this cabinet because I don't have a control panel overlay, and this one's actually in good shape, so I want to just reuse what's here. So I want to convert this control panel to fit into there. Now, there's a couple little notches that are missing on this control panel because this fit the older style cabinets. So we're going to end up cutting those a little bit bigger and putting a cup holder. I bought some cup holder inserts. They're rubber, and we're going to put them in each corner, and that's going to take care of where it's going to be missing so that I don't have to like screw in a block of wood or make it look something weird. So we're just going to put those two cup holders here. This is the new marquee I had made for the PGA Tour. So that's going to go in place of this one up there. We're not going to put that on obviously until a little bit later. It'd be nice to get this done in one video. I'll probably do some fast forwarding here and there so we can kind of just get this thing knocked out. So I need to get this control panel off and get the computer and everything out of there. Just going to take this control panel, set it off to the side for now. I think I'm going to have to steal a piece of wood off to the front of this right here. There's a seam right there, and we're going to have to take this piece of wood, if I can, off of here and apply it to this control panel so that the hinge ends up at the right height. I think. I'm not positive yet. We'll have to see how that lays out. But I think that's about it, really. The monitor is going to stay. It's a 32-inch computer monitor, so that'll stay in there because that goes off of VGA. So in theory, the VGA cord should just plug right into that monitor and it should work just fine. I do have new art to put on the front here. I don't know if this will come off very easily or not. That I'm debating on if I take it off or if I go over it. I want to see if I can maybe peel on it here a little bit. Maybe. I mean, this stuff's been on here for years. Ooh, it might come off. Yep, it's going to come out. So we'll just pull that off. I have a new piece that I had Escape Pod make me a side art that should fit there. He kind of screwed up on the measurements a little bit on it, but I think it'll still fit. Because obviously we don't want that down there because it's going to be a PGA Tour cabinet. Now when I put the lawn darts, this has lawn darts and bags on it. I'm going to put that into this cabinet, and then I'll install a button under here like this has the switching solutions system so that both computers can be accessed from that. And what we'll do is we'll just make a new marquee for the Silver Strike that'll say, you know, Silver Strike / bags or lawn darts or whatever we make it say. So that'll go there. And then we're going to make a new marquee for the Golden Tee because I put this up here. And that's the correct year that's in there is 2022. So I think what we're going to do is maybe just put the Golden Tee on an angle with a green background and then like an orange background on this side, and then say, what is that? Forgot the name of it. power putt, and it'll say power putt over here with like an orange background, so that you know that this cabinet has both games in it. Same thing with the bowling. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and finish ripping off this artwork real quick, and then we're gonna slide the cabinet out and start taking everything out of the inside. Okay, now if you're wondering why did I not use heat, because sometimes when it peels off like it did on this occasion where there's no residue left over on the paint, sometimes when you use heat, you end up leaving residue on the paint, and I didn't want to have to worry about cleaning that off. So now I'm going to get this cabinet pulled out into the room over here so we can have some access around it and start taking this thing apart. Okay, what I'm going to do is just get these two back doors off. They're screwed on with Phillips screws. And I built these cabinets a long time ago. I built them all to match. I actually had 4 of them at one point, but then I put the power putt into the golf cabinet, which gave me 1 extra spot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get these doors off, and then I'm just gonna start pulling out the computer and the wiring and stuff like that. And then at that point, we can start figuring out what we need to do with the control panel and stuff like that. All right, it is stripped down. I gotta see, I think I ordered some blue tea molding. Because it'd be nice to put blue tea molding on this. We'll have to see about that. So now I guess the first thing I should probably do is see exactly how the control panel is gonna fit up here. So we can start figuring that out first. Like I said, I'm more than likely going to have to put a block of wood on here. The hinge is still on the control panel. Okay, so the control panel is a hair or 2 wide, so we'll have to trim it down, maybe. Probably have to just take the T-molding off of it. So that's going to fit in there pretty darn nicely. Corner's going to be a little weird looking, but you know what? You can only do so much. Pretty much about the right length and everything, so I wonder if we could just take the T-molding off part of it, leave it on the front edge, or I'll just take it off. You can always put new black on or whatever, blue if I have it, if I can get it off. They do blue. Grab some needle nose pliers. I have some partial powder blue and I have white, possibly enough white. Maybe we'll do white. That might look kind of cool. We'll get to that when we get to it. Let's see if I can get this T-molding off of here. Ah, they stapled it in the back corner. I see. Okay, now let's see if it fits in here a little bit easier. Should, in theory, be perfect. It is. Awesome. Okay, so now we'll have to get that piece of wood off of that control panel and mount it onto here. These little corners kind of suck, but figure it out. That actually fits really nice. Other than those front corners being rounded, it's really not bad at all. Okay, so gotta find those cup holders I just bought too. I don't remember where I put them. Let me look. Okay, I found these on Amazon. They're like 16 bucks for the pair, and they're like an insert for a car. I forget what kind of car, but they're a little rubbery, which is fine. We can make a wooden basket that it sits into. Now, the reason why I was interested in this, because see how this one edge is square? I know it's got this little dip, but it is what it is. But if we put it in there like that, or even like this actually, that would work. Put it like that on each side. And these already, they're angled. So in theory, this one goes on this side, and the angle matches the angle of the control panel actually pretty nice. So that's gonna solve that issue with that. This here, might just have to deal with it. Might just be what it is. So I need to see if I can pop off this piece of wood on this other control panel over here. So what I did when I made this is there's a piece of 1-inch wood here. I'd like to reuse this, but I've probably glued it, and it's probably not going to come off without breaking because it's MDF material. Actually, I might have screwed it in from the top. Actually, there might be screws in it. Probably screws and glue. There's some double-sided tape in here. My knife blade is dull. Yeah. Jesus. So if anybody thinks double-sided tape doesn't hold, they're full of shit. As you can see, it's taking about everything in me to get this damn stuff to come off. I never really liked this control panel overlay on this one. It was just kind of a custom made one because I couldn't find one. And the bowling one's an original one. And this piece of wood's just gonna end up getting thrown away. I'll have to save that part of the latch so we can apply it to the new one. The PGA Tour one. Jesus, I almost got it off. Now, if anybody's wondering what this is actually white. This is FRP paneling, inside corner, not an inside corner, an outside corner edge. You can get it at Home Depot or Lowe's. Now, if anybody remembers, or you know, you have an old Pac-Man or something like that, let's go see if my Pac-Man has it on it. Actually, I don't know where my Pac-Man's over there. My paper boy, does it have it on it? Yes, no. Okay, well anyways, a lot of times they would put this on the side of a marquee. You can use this stuff, spray paint it black, take your knife and cut this back side back so that it doesn't overhang onto the side of the control panel or on the side of the marquee, so it doesn't, the light doesn't stop it from coming through. So if you cut this back, you can use this for those pieces that are always missing or not long enough or cracked or something like that. So unfortunately I broke that piece, but I could still use a lot of it. This 3M double-sided tape holds so well that you can't get the damn stuff off. Trying to see if there's screws in here. Because I honestly don't remember. There are screws and I bondoed over them. So I was really hoping to reuse this piece because it's already painted black and I don't want to have to paint and stuff like that. I need to get this trackball out of here too. The metal plate is bondoed into the wood. So I'm going to work on this off camera, see if I can get to these screws and take that piece of wood off. Okay, so I got that piece of wood cut off the bottom of the control panel, the old control panel. I just put it on the table saw and cut through the screw heads. Now, I could put this on here and it'll overhang a little bit on each side, which will kind of mask the hole that's going to kind of be created. Or I could reuse this hinge from that game because this is about the same thickness as this piece of wood. But I think I want to try the wood first. So what I need to do is maybe put 2 screws into this piece of wood into the hinge here, and then we can hold that piece of wood up there and I can mark it with a marker underneath, and then we'll know where this piece of wood needs to be attached to the bottom side of the control panel. So I'm just going to stick 2 screws in here temporarily. The reason why I think I'm going to try the wood, as long as it doesn't break, is because this cabinet is made out of MDF, okay? So this piece right here is MDF. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 screws in it. That other hinge only has 4 screw mounts. Okay, and MDF is not really strong, so only having 4 screws in there is not really going to be that strong. I could add a couple more by drilling through the hinge, but let's just see if this works first. So that's going to go there. So basically, this is probably the hardest part of the whole thing, is getting this to work. So this is what we're going to end up with. This little corner here, which isn't horrible. I'll just take some black paint and I'll just paint that piece of wood right here black, and it'll be good enough. I don't think that's bad. I think I'm happy with that. I don't have a marker on me, so I guess I'll use my knife and just kind of make a line across here. And then I'm going to make a line across the piece of wood on each side here. The reason why I'm doing this is so that I know the placement of it when I take this off and flip it upside down, so that we can mount that strip of wood onto this control panel. So let me take these 2 screws back out. And the control panel is made out of plywood, which is good. That'll definitely hold the screws really well. Okay, so those are out. All right, so let me back out here a little bit. So now I need to mount this. Let me see, how did I take this off of here? Okay, this went this way. Like this. Just want to make sure I flip it in the right orientation. There's my marker up there. And then I just kind of need to see how far over I need to go. I mean, if I'm off a little bit, I'll have to trim it with my saw. But that should be exactly where it's got to go. And that looks pretty on to me. So I'm going to glue it, and we're going to have to countersink some screws into it, because it's the only way we're going to make it work. think it needs a little bit more glue. Yes, Jolene, you're helping. She's my helper. All right, so now I'm going to countersink some holes in there so we can put some screws in. You got to countersink this MDF. If you don't, it's just going to split and fall apart. And it still might split and fall apart even after I drill it with a countersinking bit. First, I want to make sure that I'm not going to go through to the front surface. Cracked a little bit. The glue is pretty much going to be holding it once it's dry. Screws are kind of just like clamps in a sense. So we got another little bit of a crack right here. So what I'm going to do is take some glue and we're just going to put it in the crack. Rub it in there. And once that dries, should be just fine. And now we have 15 screws going into the hinge into this, which will definitely help. She's very, very inquisitive, if you guys are wondering. She has to see how everything works. She likes to watch TV. Alright, so let's go ahead and put this on. Oh, Jolene. Might be a little bit of a pain with my knee. Okay, I got 3 in, so now we can at least get this chain put on. Damn it. Maybe. If I quit dropping it. Okay, that'll hold it, and I'll put the other chain on in a minute. So now I'm going to go ahead and get all these screws put back in the hinge. Okay, we got that on. So I'm going to leave it shut for now while I'm working on the computer in the back because... Okay, I'm going to leave it shut now while I'm working on the computer in the back so that that glue can start setting up. But I think once we paint these little spots right here black and then we put the T-molding on, there's not even going to be a gap into the cabinet, which is nice. So that's going to work out good. Still got to cut the control panel for the cup holders, but that I'll do that. Actually, I wonder if I should just do that now to keep the dust down. Yeah, let me look into that first. I wonder if I can use this side over here to draw it out. I think so. What I did was I lifted it up a little bit so that my line is in a little bit from the cup holder itself. Actually, that might be better that way. We'll figure it out. I'm going to grab my multi-tool and we're going to cut this out. Looks like I'm just going to miss that screw, which is good because that's a security screw and I don't want to get my bits out and all that for now. So yeah, I want to get these cut first because then all the dust and everything can fall in the cabinet. We'll vacuum it out before we put the computer and stuff in. That's going to work out really well. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount a piece of 2x4 to the inside of the cabinet so that when this control panel shuts, the very bottom of this is sitting on a 2x4, and that will give it extra stability. If somebody has a glass bottle or something like that in there, that it, you know, the extra weight, it'll hold it. So these are actually working out really well by the way that these are angled, because if you look at it here, the cup holder is angled like this, and so is the control panel. So when it goes in place, it really works well. I mean, this is just about vertically up and down, maybe a hair tilted towards me, but it's totally fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the other side cut out, and then I'll get this cleaned up. I'll do that side off camera, get this cleaned up, and then I'll probably mount a piece of 2x4 on each side, and then I'll show you what I did. Just because that's kind of like pointless little stuff that I'm going to do, and I'll just get that done off camera and then I'll just physically show you. Okay, so that's installed. So what I did here was I took out these two security screws that are here and here. I'll have to paint those heads black, and I put a 3-inch screw going down into the 2x4 that I put on the back side. Now you can push on this as hard as you can and it's not going to go anywhere. There's a 2x4 that runs across the whole entire cabinet, and I angle bracketed into the side of the cabinet, so that's going to go nowhere now. And it really secures the control panel, so I can get rid of this latch because we don't need that anymore, because these two screws are driven down, as you can see, through here into this 2x4. So that worked out well. So now what I'm going to do is let's put the piece of T-molding on the front of the control panel, and then I'm going to off camera vacuum all this out, pick up all the screws and stuff, and then we can start mounting the computer and stuff like that. So this actually went pretty good so far. I want to kind of see what I have as far as T-molding. I don't know if I have enough. I mean, I do have some pieces of the blue as well. I think that's all I have is pieces, actually. This piece here is long enough to be inside. No. I think I want to use white, and then maybe I'll use blue along the front. Let me see if this white is enough. I don't know, because I already have a blue T-mold one. That's actually a dark blue, but let's see if this white is enough here. And then we got one piece. You know, I could piece it, and you would never know. So maybe I'll just do that, because this piece is definitely long enough. Oh boy. This piece is definitely long enough for this side, so I think that's what we're going to do. We'll use blue along the front, or I do have a piece of white for the front too, really. But I think blue will kind of just blend in a little bit better with that. Let me go grab my hammer, and we'll get this in. Yeah, I don't think that looks bad. Yeah, I think that'll be all right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to waste my time with a little bit of paint on those two corners. I'm just going to take my Sharpie. Nobody's ever going to see it. That is, if I can find my Sharpie. There it is. I mean, who the hell is going to see it? Perfect. Okay, that actually worked really well. I actually had enough T-molding to get it all, both sides in one full piece, which is pretty awesome. This is why I always save T-molding, because you just never know when you're gonna need some. The stuff I ripped off I'm gonna throw away because it's been formed in the cabinet, but if you look here, look at all these different colors and pieces I have from over the years, and I just save them. And tonight came in handy, cost me nothing. All right, now I'm gonna put on the front lower art. It came a little bit bigger than the measurements I gave them. No big deal. It is what it is. I should be able to get it to look good on there, at least good enough for what this is. Okay, I'm gonna put the marquee on now. I'm just screwing it on. Originally it was double-sided taped up, but at least that if I need to take it off, it's a little bit easier. You can gain access from the back if you take the top back panel off for the light bulb, but what happened after like a couple of years, the double-sided tape started to let go. So we're just gonna go ahead and put screws in it instead. So I pre-drilled the plastic. I don't know if I said that or not. I'm going to put some double-sided tape on the bottom. Mainly just to keep the light from shining through. So let me grab some double-sided tape. So I'm going to take it and fold it in half because it's 1 inch wide. And I'm doing that just so that it's thicker, just to make sure that the gap gets covered. So that's what the front's going to look like. A modern PGA Tour. Looks pretty good. Now we'll go around back and get the computer mounted and stuff and start figuring that out. When I took the original game apart, I labeled all the micro switches so I knew where they would go and saved me a bunch of time. I left the micro switches attached to the wiring. Alright, I'm going to plug power into the JAMA converter board here. This is coming out of the computer. Yellow is 12 volts, red is 5, black is 5. I'm sorry, black is ground. And it's labeled on the board, so you know. I am missing one ground wire. I might have to loop it, I'm not sure. Buttons, this has got to go to trackball right there. So we have power going into this board, then it's coming out over here. I'm gonna have to grab power from here to power my fans for the cabinet, which isn't a big deal. We just need 12 volts and a ground wire, which we can steal from that. I cut out a ton of extra wiring right here, so I don't think we need any of that. There's still this panel I probably have to put in so I can get into the menu if I need to, but let's let me get this plugged in. All right, let's turn it on, see if we get anything on the monitor at all. Hopefully I have this hooked up right. Like I said, I eliminated a lot of stuff that we just did not need because, what's this saying here? Press F1 to continue, plus delete to enter setup. I don't know if I need to do anything or not, if it's going to pass that or if it's stuck there. I mean, I didn't, you know what I might have to do? I might have to put the card reader in. I'm not going to use the card reader, but I bet you it needs a card reader to work. Okay, I just plugged in the card reader. It's just sitting there. I want to see what it does now. Because I know these things can be funny like that, and I don't think there's any other components that need to be plugged in. Maybe the coin door controls, but I don't know that it would know that. I would think it's just going to search for the, it's still saying F1. I'm going to let it run for a minute. All right, I plugged in the keyboard to see if I hit F1, if it does anything. The battery could be dead in the computer, which isn't a huge deal, but then you got to go in and change all the BIOS settings, reset them all, which that will suck. I don't know, this computer's not been plugged in probably close to a year, probably. Maybe a little less, whenever I forget when I bought it. Might have bought it at the beginning of this year. Or maybe the end of last year, I'm not sure. What's it saying here? That's just the monitor saying the input signal's out of range. Display going to sleep in 20 seconds. Hopefully that's not a problem. Change mode to 1920 over 1080. All right. I don't know. Let me mess with this for a little bit. Okay, so right now it's real fuzzy, pixelated, looks like shit. It's set for a CGA VGA monitor. So I need to set it for this monitor, and I need to figure that out. I don't have a manual. I'm gonna have to go online. It's trying to clear up. I don't know that it will. I think what's going to happen is, see, it gets clear for a second, then it goes back to blurry. On the camera, it doesn't look bad. When I'm looking through the lens, you can see it. See, now it's real nice and clear. If it stays like that, that'd be awesome, but I don't know if I'm going to have to get in there and change the settings. I don't know what it's doing right now, to be honest with you. I held down F7 and got it to get to this point on the keyboard, turned it off and held down F7, and I turned it back on. Okay, it says check it video cable for source. Okay, so I need to figure out how to get to, I don't know if there's dip switch settings on that. Let me take another look. Okay, let me show you how I got this to work. I'm going to turn it off, and we're going to get back into the BIOS settings so I can show you that first. That's pretty much all I had to do was that, and then I had to hook up a cable that I had forgotten about. Okay, so we're going to turn it on by holding, we're going to hold the del button down, the DEL. Hold that down, power the game on. That's going to get us into the BIOS settings. So we got to wait for this thing to boot up for a minute, and I'll go into the BIOS settings here. Okay, so now we're in the BIOS settings. We're going to go into standard Cosmos features. So we're going to hit enter. Okay, and then I went down to here, which I don't know why it changed, but well, maybe it didn't. Hit enter, And then it's got to be on the EGA, VGA. It was on one of these two here, which CGA is a CRT monitor. So I want to back out of here. So let me get out of here. I'm going to hit escape again. And then I'm going to just say exit without saving because we did not change anything. Hit enter. Quit without saving. Go hit yes. How do I do that? Enter. How do I change it? F10 to save and exit. Up, down, right, left. Okay, that's not working all of a sudden. Okay, so I gotta save. I guess it makes you save. Save and exit game. Yes. I mean, we didn't change anything, so it shouldn't really matter. But it takes a few minutes to boot up. It's not horrible. But the main issue we were having is, let's let this thing boot here. Main issue I was having there is, I don't know the name of the cable, but it's like a square cable that goes into a USB on the other side. It's almost like a printer cable. But anyway, so what that has is, that has to plug in next to the big serial port plug. That purple, you can't really see it, but anyways, it goes down there. You have to plug it in there, and then you have to plug it in up here into the USB port on the computer, and that takes care of that. So that should be good there. We're just letting it boot up. I'm cleaning the upper marquee out because I want to get that up there, and then I'll show you a finished thing of it tomorrow when I do my walkthrough video, because we have this matrix little screen here, and we're just going to kind of put our own random stuff on there because that didn't work. And I actually threw the circuit board away. There was actually a mouse nest in there, an old mouse nest. Must have peed on the circuit board and ruined the circuit board. But anyways, all this is extra. That's just extra bullshit wire that I didn't need. I still have to hook up the power to these fans because I have one that sucks in and one that blows out, so it kind of moves the air in and out of the game, which helps it keep from overheating. I'm actually going to unplug this keyboard now. Just get this out of the way. So there it is, really nice picture. So hit start. It's on free play already. I'm just going to go to anything right now. I don't really care. Just kind of just showing it to you real quick. Random selection of player. That should be interesting. Training course. That's fine. What do I do? Stuck? There we go. Control panel's not screwed down.
I'd be very happy with a shot like this.
I got to work on the trackball. Doesn't want to go very good.
I don't think this is going to get there.
So there it is. So I'm going to end this video here. I will just show you what the topper is going to look like once it's up there. I mean, I'm screwing it up there and I'm putting a matrix on there, a dot matrix screen, I guess you'd call it, or whatever that thing is. Actually, let's look at it. I just literally opened it up. So you program it with your phone, and oh boy, let's even see what this thing's even called. LED matrix panel. Okay, so it's like the old style dot matrix, but this is in color and it's LED. So that's what we're going to put up there. So I'm going to go ahead and get that finished up, and I'm going to end this video here. And then when I do my walkthrough video of the arcade, which will be up tomorrow at some point. I'll probably do it late tonight, maybe even post it real late tonight. I'm not sure. See what happens. It's already like 11 o'clock at night, and I still got to finish putting this together. I'm gonna do a walkthrough and turn on all the games. Fingers crossed that they work, at least most of them. I know Need for Speed Underground doesn't work. Got to get into that and figure that out still. But we'll get them powered up, and we'll see. Tron's not going to work right now because I don't have the harness in it. Not a big deal, but we'll get there. So thanks for watching, guys. If you like what you're seeing, please hit the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. It costs nothing. It just lets you know when more videos come out. And if you know anybody that's interested in this stuff, please share my videos. I'd really appreciate it. I'm at like 8,840 subscribers. I'd really like to hit that 10,000 mark. So if anybody can help, I'd really appreciate it. But thanks for watching, guys. Any questions or comments, feel free to ask. Let me know what you guys think of this. Let me know if you guys want to see me do a video of putting the bags and the bowling in the same cabinet. I did do one on the Golden Tee a long time ago, but if you guys are interested, I'll make a video on that. So let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you later.